Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of On the Beat. I'm Tony Olivero here with my fellow beat writer Andrew John. We're previewing the West Virginia game, and Andrew will be heading down there in a few hours. Looking forward to it. Start time tomorrow at noon. But until then, I just wanted to touch on a few things SU's going to need to do tomorrow if they're hoping to get the upset win down in Morgantown and perhaps just the toughest environment in the Big East to play in. First thing we wanted to touch on is obviously the offensive weapons West Virginia has. It's kind of a three-headed monster there, led by or just kind of anchored by quarterback Geno Smith there for the West Virginia offense. Just overall, Andrew, what are you expecting out of this kind of attack that West Virginia is going to bring to the table? It's quicker, it's faster. They might not have the height of the Pitt receivers from last week. It's a little different, but it's perhaps the best in the Big East. What are you expecting, and what does SU need to do?
On Monday, Doug Marone mentioned that this is going to be the fastest offense that they've played against. They have a lot of speed, a lot of quickness, especially at the skill positions. And, so that's something that Syracuse is going to have to adjust to, and I think we're going to have to see if, they can match that. I'm sure that they're expecting that, and we'll just have to see how they counteract that, how they attack that. I know it's going to have the same type of speed and then some that Pittsburgh had, and they weren't quite ready for that last week, so we'll just have to see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. I mean, Pitt kind of had their with SU, especially obviously from the first play on. I guess it was a little surprising the attack. I don't know if we're going to see as much of a change up or a switch up from the West Virginia, just the way their offense is attacking. But the thing that SU needs to be ready for is the fact that you got Austin and Sanders there, two receivers below 5'10". Obviously the SU secondary is going to have to watch and see and how they're going to attack, just the best ways to kind of just get a feel for it. It'll be interesting to see what happens there, like in the first 5 minutes. But also when we picked our kind of four main matchups to watch there, it was all with just the SU defense against those four kind of WV offensive guys. Geno Smith's not really I guess a tremendous long ball threat. I think his longest throw on the year is like 45, 46 yards. But it'll be interesting to see just Philip Thomas making sure nobody gets deeper than him, just kind of core things there for a free safety. Just overall, it's coming with the WV offensive attack, and as you've seen it at times this year, but it's going to be another level just there tomorrow, and it'll be interesting to see there. Obviously, on the defensive side, they have athletes as well. They're bringing in a 3-3-5 offensive front. It's something SU hasn't really played against yet this year, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of carries and how they attack with DeLon Carter there with the holes and how successful he is against these WVU athletes tomorrow. Just what are your thoughts overall just on the athleticism and just the strengths of the West Virginia defense there tomorrow? I mean, it's a little bit of a different kind of taste for this SU team.
Well, yeah, I mean this is the 3-3-5 defense that SU hasn't played against this year. It'll be interesting to see if that run game can make the most of that, because they won't be stacking as many guys in the box as you saw Pittsburgh do. But West Virginia does have the number 4 defense against the run, so something's got to give there. We'll see if they can continue to force their will on running backs like they have all season, or if maybe Syracuse can take advantage of the fact that there will be only 5-6 guys down in the box.
Yeah, it'll be a little different, but just overall, you mentioned fourth in the nation in just defense there. They're also fourth in the nation in forcing 3 and outs, and that was something that obviously killed SU last week against Pittsburgh. They had the one stretch there where Pitt took the lead from 7-7 to 28-7. Just overall, with just 3 and outs stringed in between there for SU. So if it was tough against Pittsburgh, there's gonna be a stretch like that that's gonna come against the Mountaineers. And even if it's not 3 and outs, just for a longer period of time, just short drive, something that always yields in a Rob Long, punt attempt. It'll be interesting to see what kind of, I guess, just what SU can do against this front. It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, we haven't seen it all year. It's kind of the next question mark here for SU and part of the learning process, I guess. So, but with that, we'll get into our picks for this weekend. Andrew, just what you had there?
Well, I went with 28-13. I think that it definitely could get uglier than that, but I was a little conservative just because I think coming off of the loss against Pitt, I think that might be a little bit of an awakening for Syracuse. I think that they're going to make some adjustments, and they'll come back at this game a little bit more competitive than they did this previous week, but I still don't expect it to be closer than 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, South Florida had kind of their openings there against WVU last weekend. It'll be interesting to see if if WVU has any kind of an off game or doesn't take SU kind of, I guess, just doesn't prepare for him in the right way. SU can have success here and there against his team, but again, this is a team that's top 5 in the nation in total defense. They have all those offensive weapons. They're just faster, and we saw it a lot, a few years ago with Robinson teams, and even last year at times with Maroon teams. I think at times this week, and we're going to see it again, just SU not at the level that the team they're playing against is at. WVU is a very high-ranked team, and I just don't think SU's there yet. I'm going to take WVU tomorrow, 31-10. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to be tough. There'll be plays that SU, comes through on, but overall, just a better team. But that's it for now. We'll be there tomorrow. Be sure to check back in for live updates via Twitter. As we'll be there in Morgantown, and just full game coverage right after the game, and obviously in Monday's print edition of the Daily Orange, all your complete coverage from the game in Morgantown this weekend. Again, for Andrew, Tony, thanks guys.